some engineers who are in the range of 22 to 25 years have created systems which can code 24 by 7. I don't know what that is. I need to maybe understand more. For the size and the scale of our organizations, the adoption is very slow. Yeah.
It's complex as well. To be honest, the learning curve, it's not like a software engineer can just come and install something and start generating beautiful, highly optimized code.
I have seen that happening. There was also a survey like where boomers, millennials adoption is very poor of AI. As soon as they hear it, they're like, no, it's not really productive. I'm not really finding value in that. But they would not have used it to that extent. Engineers who are like 3 or 4 year just into the system, they are using it effectively.
I mean, you might be right. Adoption of AI probably comes naturally to mid-level engineer.
I connected with somebody in LinkedIn just yesterday where he had posted about some engineers who are in the range of 22 to 25 years have created systems which can code 24 by 7. I don't know what that is. I need to maybe understand more. But they have created those. And there is real disruption happening where they don't really worry about the ethics, governance, or anything right now. So that could be one reason that we are not hearing what the real disruption is, because for the size and the scale of our organizations, the adoption is very slow.
It is slow, yes.
Yeah.
It's complex as well. To be honest, the learning curve is also quite steep. Um, I mean, to use it productively and to make sure you make best out of it, it is there's a learning curve, right? It's not like a software engineer can just come and install something and start generating beautiful, highly optimized code as soon as possible, right?
And
It has to be.
again, I have seen that happening where maybe we are not so much aware. Like there was also a survey like where boomers, millennials adoption is very poor of AI. As soon as they hear it, they're like, no, it's not really productive. I'm not really finding value in that. But they would not have used it to that extent.
Probably
But I
yes.
have also seen maybe engineers who are like 3 or 4 year just um, just into the system, they are using it effectively. And they are even using tools which are not maybe approved by the organization, which is the other part of governance I was saying, right? It's
Yep.
very difficult to control right now, but they are using it really effectively. And then that's the barrier or the bridge that we are seeing, and that will come to the third point of what we will discuss about how ageism and this is involved, where adoption even is a problem, upskilling is a problem for maybe millennials, where they are looking at, oh, it's not for me, I am done with learning myself, it's not maybe for the previous generation to catch up, right? So that is a risk maybe which is right now at least everyone is having over and maybe touching their 35 to 40 or even beyond, right? So
Yeah. I think you. I mean, you might be right, and I think I have also seen. I think adoption of AI. I feel that probably comes naturally to maybe mid-level engineer, right? Maybe when I say mid, maybe it's like between early. Somebody was transitioned from early to mid, right?
yeah,
Was already past. You can't call him a grad engineer anymore
yeah,
because he spent like 3 or 4 years in a company. At the same time, now he's probably started using AI probably 2 3 years before as well, because these people are born with AI as well.
yeah,
You should understand that
native AI they call themselves.
exactly,
Yeah,
because when they actually were born, and born as in when they started coding, AI is actually already actually was
post
inbuilt into the
COVID.
system post COVID. Yeah. At the same time, I think that's where I think though they actually might be able to adopt AI much faster, but are they really writing highly optimized code? That again depends on, like I said, we talked about the business side, the domain side of it as well. On one side you have this, probably the smart engineers who know how to make best out of AI, but are they really giving the right inputs? Are they able to, for example, run the project themselves? The answer is no,
Yeah,
right? If you want to build a complex product, complex system, you still need the domain experts who are that's where I believe that the ageism factor, right, to kind of counteract the ageism aspect.
Mm.
I don't believe that a 35 20 years experience or 25 plus years experience engineer need to feel disappointed,
Mm.
right? How they can actually upskill themselves, evolve themselves is to kind of try and be that driving force, right?
Mm.
It's like this, right? It's like in an army, the best people to actually fight the battle, right, in the front lines are the youngsters, right?
Yeah.
But still you have a marshal or a general who is actually quite
Strategizing.
experienced,
Mm.
but he's strategizing the whole thing, and he's basically drawing the map for the battle map for the frontline
Mm.
soldiers. And similarly, I kind of believe that still these higher experienced engineers, I mean, if the higher if I'm a say 20 plus years experienced engineer, if I try to compete against a 5 plus engineer, apply 5 plus years experience engineer and say, you know what, I and you are going to do the same thing, I will show you, I write better code than you,
Mm.
then you already failed, right? I
Mm.
think you're already on your way out. You can't have that mindset.
And is
You should
that not
probably,
what majority are doing right now? Which
it
is
could, I believe, still believe that they, and this happens typically with the one dimension engineers, right?
mm.
But majority of the engineers probably at this 20 plus years experience now are probably all their life, all they've done is built various projects for using Java or JavaScript, maybe a front end or a back end engineer, right? Could be any language. I'm just using
Yeah,
Java. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
abusing Java, but just using Java as an example. But any developer who has been always been a developer without understanding the domain,
Mm.
and some people also shifted various domains, right? They worked on banking,
Yeah, I
insurance,
have worked on a lot
telecom.
of.
They've done a lot of
Even I have done
automobiles.
e-commerce, which you
Yeah,
like.
e-commerce. They they've done a lot of such different domains, but their core skill has always been programming.
Mm. Yeah.
Anybody whose core skill is only programming and who has 20 plus years experience should really rethink, are they really relevant? And
Mm.
I don't believe they will survive unless they basically evolve.
Mm.
Upskill, I mean, on one way, on one dimension, they're all one dimensional engineers according to me, right?
Mm.
Because they have actually probably they have built very good code, optimized code in their prime, and
Mm.
they have been the pillars of their company, and nothing to take away that from them.
Mm.
But in today's world, in post AI world, are they really relevant is the question we need. That's why we talked about the full stack engineer, right?
Mm.
Either they become a full stack engineer where they pick a domain and they become domain experts and they become the generals and the marshals to make sure that they can
Mm.
lead this army of 5 plus or 6 plus in years experience engineer into the battle with all the tools, the AI tools, right? They don't really have to, everybody doesn't have to really know how AI
Yeah.
works in a company, right? You know how the business works, how the domain works, what are the actual use cases, what is really needed, and you're probably very good in solution architecture and system design. Complex system design AI is still not good,
Yeah.
right? You might still be a very good system architect who really is very valuable. Such kind of roles obviously are going to stay when it comes to ageism, right? And that's why when I look at my own experience, what I thought was that with all this AI world, right? And I actually being a people manager, I thought I was missing out on basically the evolution.
Mm.
And I somehow felt that, in 2 to 3 years, what's going to happen to my role, right? If I'm a people manager, not that actually I was always from tech background,
Mm.
but still, if is my role even relevant? Is my role of a people manager doing hiring and taking care of administration of 200 people, 200 engineers, is it really kind of going to be valuable in the next few years? The answer is really no,
Mhm.
right? That's where I felt that I need to evolve, I need to upskill, and then actually that's what, when I got an opportunity to kind of move into a technical strategy role, I kind of adopted it. I probably call myself also a domain expert now, right?
Mm.
Because I've been in the telecom domain for 20 plus engineers. Sorry, 20 plus years. I've been in telecom industry.
Mm.
I know how exactly the evolution of network from 2G to 3G to 4G to 5G to 6G is going to happen,
Yeah.
and hence actually I can use those skill sets and tie it with AI. I'm probably not going to code in my role, right? I'm not going to probably use AI to code, but I'm going to actually create the system architecture and the solution which is required, which is going to help basically fast track the AI implementation. And
Mm.
that's what maybe an experienced engineer can do. I'm not saying same, but similar. I would say evolve or upskill, right, into different roles in the company. Don't be one dimensional. right? Try to actually kind of gain. Even it's not it's not like, old, you can't teach old dog new tricks. That if you are a believer in that, then obviously you will probably fail in the market today,
Mm.
right? If you think that I would not probably learn anything new, you obviously won't survive much.
Yeah, I
You need
think
to basically evolve.